Okay, here we are again. We're going to try and dig out that gasket material with one of these picks. Okay, where'd our thing go? Yeah, dig out the gasket material and then take that little pin bottle injector and try to inject some new, and clean it up real good with some brake cleaner where it'll be good and dry, and then try to take that little pin injector and inject some new sealant in there. So let me get to digging some of that stuff out, and then we'll get that pin injector. I don't know if I'll be able to get any black sealant to go through that little bitty hole or not, but we'll find out. Here we got this at Hobby Lobby, and so we will try to get some black sealant in that, or red or gray, and then we will see if we can squirt that in that crack and get some new sealant in there. And like I say, we'll get it real good and dry, squirt it in there and let it cure for a whole day, and then crank this thing up, move it, and see if that gets the oil leak fixed. Hey, I've been able to get a good bit of that old gasket out of there, or old gasket material. Of course, junk's always in the way. Yeah, see, I've gotten a nice chunk of it out. I'm going to get as much of it as I can out, then I'm going to take that pin injector and see if I can't get some black in there. And then take my finger and try to push it in there as best I can. I'm going to use some brake cleaner to clean that up and dry, try to get it real dry so that black can stick to the surfaces. Now, I have also loosened these rear 4 intake manifold bolts. I'll tighten them back up once I get the gasket material in there and see how it works. Okay, we've got it cleaned off good, and we've dug a good little bit of that gray out of there. We're going to let that dry, and then we're going to take that pin bottle and we're going to try to get as much of that black in there as we can, if we can get any black through it. And then we'll try to push some of it in through with our fingers and see, let it completely cure, maybe crank it up tomorrow and see how it does, see if it leaks. So if anybody's got any other ideas, because that intake evidently is not tightening down on that. So I've thought about even taking a feeler gauge and sticking in there, coat it with sealant, stick it in there, break it off about a ½ inch or inch, stick it in that crack with sealant on it, and then that way the intake would have something to squat down on, because it's not sitting down on that block right now. If y'all have any ideas, let me know. This sounds crazy. Sounds like it'll work without having to take this intake off. Okay, we're going to try this. If y'all have any other ideas, let me know. We are going to fill this little bottle up with the Ultra Black. And hopefully, I know it's going to be thick. It's going to be hard to get through this little bitty hole. But hopefully we'll be able to get that, enough of it to come out in that crack between the intake and the block. I can get a 16 gauge wire in that crack. I have also thought about taking some chinking, either some caulk or either some toothpicks, and stick in that crack, and that way the oil would swell it up and seal it on the outside with this black or the red. But anyway, y'all let me know what you think. We're going to try this, let it cure, and see if it still leaks. We got to crawl underneath and see if there are any other leaks. May have to replace that pan gasket. It's been replaced once. So that's because it came from Jasper with one that was leaking. They replaced it and it's still leaking, I think. I tightened it up, checked it out. It may not be leaking, but there was more oil coming down from there than I think it was something. I think there's something else leaking, but we'll find out. Get up underneath there and check that out. But if you can think of anything else that might, if this doesn't work, what might work to, other than taking that intake off or paying somebody to do it. So let's fill this bottle up and see if we can get enough of that black sealant gasket maker to close it up and keep it from leaking. And look how much I've had to squeeze the tube before even any of it comes out. So don't think you're going to get a full tube of it. Well, I tell you, everything has gone to the dogs. Well, our little bottle idea didn't work. So we took that black sealant, put it on our finger, and we just jammed it in that crack all the way across the intake. So we're going to let it dry, and then we're going to tighten those rear bolts back down, and we will crank it and drive it around the block and see if that stopped the leak. We'll also crawl underneath it, see if we can find it if there is anything else leaking that we can identify it. I've got another pan and pan gasket that I got from Summit. We may end up swapping that out too. But that'll end this one for right now. The next one will be the test to see if it works. And then again, if y'all got any ideas about doing it without taking the intake off, or taking it and paying somebody to do it, let me know. Historic Burton's Ferry, Turnstile Bridge, Savannah River, South Carolina side. We're going to go over to the Georgia side, get some video, pictures, maybe do some fishing with Vienna sausage or Spam. It's the only thing we have to fish with. Looking upstream of the Savannah River. Turning and looking back downstream towards Savannah.